Hello, everybody. I am coming for our energy share. I know the last time I spoke, I was sharing with everybody that I was going to be taking a little bit of a break in order to do some things in the home, which are very Cancer type energy, right? Moving things around, nesting. So I'm coming to you today, the day before the new moon in Cancer. So the sun moved into the sign of Cancer on the 21st, where we had the summer solstice. It's where the sun is at the highest point of the horizon in the constellation of Cancer, represented by the crab. And I was reflecting upon that, how the crab is an earth and water dweller, right? Earth is feminine. Water is feminine. It utilizes both of those energies as a crab. The significance of it right now coming up is this new moon that we are going to be having on September, it's my birth month, June 28th at 10:52 p.m., 7 degrees, 23 minutes. So wherever 7 degrees of Cancer is in your natal chart is where this energy will be triggering. So the mother archetype, the energy of nurturing, intuitive, sometimes overly protective. Cancer represents the fourth house. It's our foundation, right? The foundation, your home, your roots of your being. Whether we're looking at that symbolically as our physical dwelling, our home, literally, whether we are looking at it as the body of where our spirit is residing in right now, our temporary home. The energy of Cancer is sensitive, emotional, cardinal, water. So the beginning of summer, that's what the beginning of Cancer season is. It's loving, it's nurturing, and it also has a high emotional representation of the family and the unit. And so I just want to quickly share, this may be a little bit of a longer video, this share, guys. So if you can't listen to it from your heart all at once, come back to it, pause, save it for later and listen again. Because as we are now wanting to plant the seeds in this Cancer energy, a lot of people are having deep emotions come up that may be symbolic of feeling safe, feeling as if you are creating a nest, so to speak. I think back of when I was pregnant for my children, and towards the end, you know, our internal intuition naturally nesting and preparing our nest to bring this new life home, to nurture, to take care of. Very instinctual. It also, to me, is very symbolic right now because there's a lot of things coming up. I'm going to share, you know, I was speaking to a dear friend of mine last night that doesn't really follow astrology, but is open to hear my take on it. And she was sharing with me that she recently had these deep feelings and emotions come up of being a little girl. And they had quite the big, beautiful in-ground pool. And as she was playing and whatnot, she fell into the pool as her mom was skimming the pool, cleaning the pool. And she said, I had a vision of when I was little and I fell in that pool, very scared, frozen with fear, looking up out of the pool. And my mother was just standing there with the net looking down at me. Didn't try to save her, didn't appear to be in frantic mode of trying to save her little girl. I don't know how old she was when this happened. And I thought, wow, that's very symbolic of Cancer, right? Little girl speaking about a memory she had recently come up with her mother, including the water with the pool and that feeling of wounding, betrayal, abandonment, lack of action in a nurturing way to save that little girl, to get her out of that fear mode, right? So I'm saying this because the South Node is in Scorpio as well. We have a lot of things that we are deeply and emotionally having come to the surface. And it's being initiated again now that we're in Cancer season, another water sign. And a lot of specific things coming up due specifically for the mother, or how we've been nurtured, or what I'm feeling with this new moon taking place on the 28th, 10:52 p.m. of how can we nurture ourselves? How can we let go of the traumas? How can we heal, evolve, being dedicated to ourselves in a new way, so that anybody who may have not been able to nurture us in the way that we needed, we can now do for ourselves. A personal experience for me that's been coming up is I've allowed certain people come back into my life after going no contact for quite a long time with some healthy boundaries. I've allowed these certain archetypes of the mother come back into my life recently, and I'm starting to see these points of, now that the interaction is a little bit established and comfortable, there's trueness being shown again to why I walked away, to why I created these healthy boundaries, right? Water energy, specifically the water, people who have a lot of water energy in their chart need healthy boundaries, but also anybody that's sensitive, intuitive, or has awakened at this time, because priority is nurturing thyself, mothering thyself, preparing your home, whether it be your body, your physical home, whatever, with a strong foundation and a feeling of safety and nurturing. I'll never forget, over the last 8 years, some of the courses that my beautiful spiritual teacher, I've taken these courses. And I remember him specifically predicting that globally, we were going to be going through the dark night of the soul. And now we're in it, where the PTSD and the traumas of the earth plane are coming to the light for us to witness, to bear witness to heal, to transmute, so that we can become a better world. And I'm just like reflecting on that, going, how significant that is right now, because I've been through several dark nights of the soul in my personal life, but now we're witnessing on the global. And a lot of people resist those deep emotions that may be coming up. And so I'm asking not only of myself, but others to dive into them, allow them to flow through you. And, you know, one of the verses of the Bible that comes up to me is, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. And I believe that amnesia that all of us experience as we come into the earth plane is now, if we're awakened, the veil being lifted to the things of the past that may have been important to us are no longer important to us. We're seeing there's a bigger picture. We're seeing the importance of letting go of the baggage, the density, the wounds, the betrayals. We all have them. And again, that doesn't mean with healthy boundaries that you accept the behaviors of your past or others. But what it means is everybody's on this different journey, all going to the same destination. And it's important for us because it's so difficult on the earth plane with so many different ideas, beliefs, personalities, to not allow other people to damn you. Being in your integrity as we are going into the doorway of the age of Aquarius, your authentic self coming forward, who you were truly meant to be, and also the wisdom carrying forward from the lessons and the blessings that have made you who you are. Learning how to nurture ourselves and mother ourselves when others were not, up to par with that. Another thing that my spiritual teacher shared with me and reflected to me so beautifully was our physical mother, father, families may fall short in our younger years of, giving us what we need for our own growth. But what never fails us is the Divine Mother. And so calling upon her recently has been huge for me to nurture me, to comfort me as I very emotionally process the things coming up, right? And I think one of the biggest injustices that humanity in general has bestowed upon itself is where the sacred feminine, the divine feminine, went into the low vibration of competition, lack. And that's not to omit the masculine neither, because where women, the sacred feminine, in specific women, have become cutthroat with each other, who betray each other, who step on each other, who screw their lovers, betrayal. And so witnessing over the weekend this feminine energy that was in my presence again after so long, I witnessed a triangulation between my husband, myself, and this lady, of where I could feel her energy feeling like she needed to be in competition with her son's wife. And so why I'm sharing that is because it really made me reflect on where I need to put not walls up, but instill boundaries again. And I'm very vocal. So when I communicate my feelings on a situation and I'm undermined or disregarded by a woman that should be lifting me up with love because I love her son dearly, and overcoming wounds and trauma of the past, including some that my husband and I played out on each other, it's just a huge sign, red flag, that things need to change. And the reason I'm sharing is because there's a lot of people, like my dear friend shared with me in the middle of the night last night, what she had surface with the mother in her life, or any of the energies who are supposed to be the nurturer of you. So the new moon taking place at 7 degrees 23 minutes is in the sign of Cancer, and it's in a conjunction with Lilith, and that's the dark feminine. So a lot of us are having the wounds come up. It's in a square with Jupiter in Aries, which is passionate. It can be impulsive. Jupiter expands. So pay attention and observe, because I feel this square is where such emotional intensity is coming up, and it may just be a conflict of the divine feminine surfacing again to witness. And so how we can take action with that, with this square energy, this tension, is to respond differently And again, I'm feeling like the boundaries are important. Today, as I'm coming to you, the moon is passing Gemini, Mercury. So a lot of intellectual energy coming up that could be very deep and emotional. So I just wanted to share that with you. How is it that you're nurturing yourself? How is it that you are creating a safe zone, a safe space within your dwelling? Because it's important right now as we are in Cancer season, right? And the archetype of the mother. So fourth house in Cancer is both represented by the green energy in these cards. And I know it's hard to see because I wanted to put the beautiful Cancer glyph up today. So where is it in the past have you felt, or even in possibly in the present, where you've had to go into your crab shell and feel protective over your emotions? Is it something that's coming up from within you that you feel like your emotions are so deep that you cannot be free? And if that's the case, it's time to dive into them and unleash that. I think it's important to nurture ourselves, right? And in this card, you see the hand holding the little hand in the fourth house, creating a strong foundation. It's our roots. And many of us have gotten off on other people's belief systems, perhaps, or taking on, marriage union of any kind, any interactions with ourselves and others is being highlighted in this Cancer season. And that's the perfect opportunity with the new moon to plant a new seed of how you would like to go forward, creating that sacred space, nurturing your sacred feminine, how you love yourself, how you love others, how you interact with others. It's very sensitive, this Cancer energy. It's very emotional. It's very intuitive. So trusting your intuition. Concerns around the family coming up. And a lot of us way showers are the lineage holders who are here in a very dense time to integrate more of the light coming in. And since the summer solstice, we've had huge spikes in the Schumann resonance, many, the sun putting off the coronal mass ejections coming into our atmosphere, coming into our bodies, coming into our homes. So a lot of people are experiencing ascension symptoms, and especially with the moon being in its home sign of Cancer, it's heightened, it's powerful, can be very transformational. And again, honoring that sacred feminine energy right now, mothering. You could have things coming up with the child, your inner child and children, if you have them, being concerned about the children and the agendas that are still taking place, as we're all in this dark night of the soul. So grief has been coming up a lot for me because I have a child on the other side of the veil who's always, I know, right here, but physically, grieving the feminine energies that I thought were really strong foundational relationships. And it's really, we've gotten so far off the beaten path of the Lemurian times, past lives of the sacred feminine, teaching, raising, supporting the children, nurturing the children collectively as a group, teaching our children about God and roots and strong foundations instead of this totally backwards society that we're in right now. So grieving, being very emotional, and self-care and caring for others, so very important. So let's draw a Queen of the Moon Oracle energy for this Cancer season, new moon. God, creator, source, divine white light, call upon your presence to bless us, protect us, to nurture us, to love us unconditionally. We know you always do, but that we may feel that presence, that we may feel that divine feminine comforting us, hugging us, nurturing us, and pointing us in the direction of our own inner light, our inner authority, our creative life force energy. And we give thanks in advance. And so it is. So from the Queen of the Moon Oracle, ascension symptoms, last night on the 26th, we had a huge spike come in again. The K index has been in yellow, which I always say is representative of caution, intensity. We've also seen it in the red lately. And I was laying in bed after I came in from grounding, and I was so exhausted that I laid in bed like I felt like I didn't even have enough energy to get in bed. And I was laying there and I asked the Holy Spirit to show me, to tell me what that latest spike was, because we've been experiencing huge spikes in the Schumann resonance since the sun entered Cancer. And last night's was solar plexus releasing fear, and blue, I was shown the color blue, throat chakra, speaking your truth, sharing your emotions authentically. And so also felt a little bit of the third eye, which is just the veil being removed from ourselves to see things clearly without that fog, because we now have the same day of the new moon, Neptune retrograde. So if you have a lot of Neptunian or Pisces energy in your natal chart, or it's aspecting anything else, you could be feeling very exhausted, very tired. But it's about removing the rose-colored glasses to see things clearly. So Cancer season, Cancer new moon, plant the seed. We have the card Resistance, waning crescent. So immediately coming up here for me, it may show that many of us are gripping on to what we thought was real and now seeing clarity. It may be us resisting the deep emotional sensitivity that we have arising within us right now. So resistance is stuck energy. It's asking us to flow. It's asking us to ground. You see her hand gripped onto the earth. This could be for a lot of us identifying with the body so much so that it's bringing up fear. Again, we have Black Moon Lilith conjunct this new moon. So it's deep, it's intense. You could have the lower aspect of the divine feminine coming up within you, or like me, witnessing that surface in my interactions with other people. Resistance. Let me get a drink of water before I read this. Stuck energy, grounding, breathing deep. Familiarize yourself with how resistance manifests for you. The overt and the covert. If you continue to have doors slammed in your face, turn around. There will normally be an open door. Procrastination is another kind of fear. Move forward with confidence and persistence. There are two kinds of resistance. The first type we encounter when we keep getting obstacles placed in our way, or our way is blocked. For example, we try to get a particular job in a particular field, but no matter what we do, it doesn't happen. This is an external or overt resistance. The covert resistance, which occurs when we say we really want to do or complete something, but we resist not to. It's somewhat sneakier. All forms of procrastination fit in here. Writer's block being a very good example. When we want to do something, but we get distracted and don't do it, or we just can't seem to engage our will enough, that is a covert resistance. When we want to rid a bad habit, an addiction, and our old pattern, in fact, anything we are thinking of releasing for the dark moon, which is the new moon, and feel resistance in doing so, we have a big dose of covert resistance. It's a battle we might have to fight more than once, but we will be resilient. We must battle the second kind of a resistance like we would battle a crafty and terrible enemy. We must raise our shields and sharpen our swords and have a strategy to remove the resistance. In fact, we must flow through it. So very Cancerian water energy. Why do we resist the things we say we want? Sometimes we don't really want those things. Most times, though, we are frightened about what might happen if we don't get what we ask for. So again, as I was inquiring with the Holy Spirit, as the Schumann spiked so intensely last night, show me what this is showing me, the solar plexus and releasing fear, resistance of change. What will people think? Will we lose our friends and family if we rise? Now, again, this came up for me yesterday in the presence of the mother archetype, not my mother, where I spoke my truth, whether accepted or not, and I felt persecution, disregard. And so that's showing me I need to have a good, strong, healthy boundary again and disconnect. So just an example. Will it all be for nothing if we try and fail? But we must be willful and we must have courage. A lot of Aries energy right now, right? Coming up, as I said, squaring off in Jupiter. I believe Mars is also there, and also Chiron, the wounded healer. We must repeat to ourselves, this is what I really want for me. Yes, I am worth it. Yes, I am worth it. Yes, I am worth it. And when we stand up straight and put our crown of sovereignty of our own lives and we go to battle. So this is huge because, like, who would have thought all of that, right? Spiritual warriors, spiritual badasses that are willing to face resistance, to witness resistance within ourselves, to witness behaviors of others, especially to do with the mother archetype right now, with family, with children, to speak up and roll your shoulders back, knowing who you are as a divine child of God. Because that forgive you, Father, for they know not what they do, are those who have forgotten that they are unconditional agape love. They are a spark of creator. And when the divine feminine, as I say, is probably the most detrimental thing to happen in humanity, where the feminine, the sacred feminine, has become in competition with one another. Bad days, the breakdown of the family, the breakdown of the structures. We're witnessing it in the dark night of the soul. So pay attention, release the resistance. Let's do a goddess guidance oracle as well to go along with this energy. Which goddess would like to show herself? Again, that Lilith being in conjunction with this new moon, there could be a lot of the dark sacred feminine coming up to heal, to transmute. Easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Be gentle. Take slow, deep breaths. Let's see if I can stop the screen background just so you can see this better. Oh, no, wrong one. Again, my laptop doesn't have a greatest camera as my phone does, but here we go. There we go. So easy does it. Breathe deep, be gentle with yourself. There's a peace dove there. There's a lot of colors in her hair with the chakras. So doing yourself meditations that balance your energy body, your emotional body with this Cancer season, Cancer new moon. Allowing the flow of tears to come up and out if they need to, if you have those things surface, and really, really, really nurturing yourself. So here's a little cute little deck, and this is the Enchanted Art Oracle, and I'm going to share one more card message. How do you want to nurture yourself? What makes you feel safe? What is that cozy, warm blanket for you? Do you enjoy a nice little home-cooked meal and nurture yourself that way? Are you cleansing and doing a purification in your salt baths or in the ocean or near a body of water? Pay attention to the resistance that comes up, whether it be covert or overt. What are you clinging on to that isn't serving for your highest good? The very thing that challenges you can be transformed into your greatest strength. The very thing that challenges you, what you may resist. Is it hard for you to speak up because you're afraid you're going to lose friends? Because trust me, when you're in your authentic self and you speak your truth, those that truly love you and support you, like the soul family I've found here on my channel and other, on Telegram and whatnot, MeWe, they stand behind you no matter what. So right now, if you're resisting because you're scared you're going to be outcasted, it isn't the time. Bring forward those challenges because they are the very thing that can transform you. This is where your greatest strength lies, is being your authentic self, standing straight in your truth, being the spiritual badass warrior that you are. I call myself that as a bereaved warrior mother. I want to do good, even though I'm very heartbroken that my child left his body before me. But I believe without a shadow of a doubt that everything happens in perfect divine timing. And it's important for us to be easy on ourselves. Let's do another one from this beautiful little oracle. For the Cancer season. Thank you so much for joining me. Give it a like, comment below how you're doing, how you're flowing. Share this out to your social media platforms. If you go to my home channel above on the top where the banner is for my channel, you'll find the alternative media that I am also on, Telegram, MeWe. More than happy to have you there. When in doubt, ask for guidance. So this is important right now, especially with Neptune retrograde, with this new moon in Cancer. Connect with the divine, specifically first thing in the morning, throughout the day, whenever you need to be. Again, like I shared the intensity of the Schumann resonance last night specifically, I asked the Holy Spirit to guide me And it was about me releasing fear, all of us, because I was inquiring collectively, releasing fear, speaking your truth, nurturing yourself. Always ask for your own inner divine guidance. It won't steer you wrong. I promise you that. Much love to you. And until we meet again, Shalom, Shalom, and a very, very blessed new moon in Cancer. And also, I wanted to say before I end this, please, every one of you Cancers, nurture yourself. Happy, blessed solar return to you. It really is a beautiful energy to nurture, to love. And again, on that lower aspect of Cancer, don't become so consumed by the emotions that you scurry away from others. There's a lot of support if we just open up and collaborate with each other. Much love to you, and shalom, shalom.